Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of The Bachelorette episode 4. There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot of Thomas to unpack here. I don't know if we needed like 40 minutes of this episode to be about this dude.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say straight from the get-go that Andrew S was right. Straight away, he was right. We ended up with so much Thomas in this episode, and he's the one who said it. If we all keep talking about him, he's just gonna keep on taking time, and that's exactly what happened.
It is a really, usually in the world of The Bachelorette, I'm gonna say things are pretty black and white. It's usually like, okay, that person is a horrible toolbox and I don't ever want to see them, or it's like, oh, I love this person, I give them all my love and respect. But it is the whose side are you on, the Tre versus Andrew S debate when it comes to Thomas.
And we will be getting into that here on Where I Land, Where Matt Lands.
This is going to be a good discussion. We have a lot to get into, but of course, why not hit that subscribe button? Because, every Monday after The Bachelorette, moving into every other Bachelor Nation related thing this year, there's a lot. We will be here talking all about the show.
Also, if you're watching the Blacklist, it is over right now, but we are going to have new videos every single Friday. Big Brother 23 starting up next week. We're going to be covering all the live feeds, so if you're watching that, you got to be here for that. Hit that subscribe button. Also Animal Kingdom. Also American Horror Stories. So much coming up.
No kidding. Also Power Book 3. This is a pretty eventful summer. We're very, very happy about that.
Also, I got a lime tree this weekend, so if you want to see that, it's over at our Instagram at Matt and Jess TV.
It is going to be delicious when they are eventually limes.
We'll let you know in 3 years.
I really hope somebody remembers this in 3 years. Okay, let's talk Andrew S and Tre.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Andrew S and Tre. Okay, so there was this debate tonight where Tre felt that it was really important to tell Katie what is going on with Thomas. And for Andrew S., and this is where I land on it. I understand where Tre is coming from, but it feels like every single episode we've had somebody going to Katie and telling her so-and-so is a problem. Okay, goodbye, Cody. Carl is a problem. Okay, goodbye, Carl. Thomas is a problem. Okay, goodbye, Thomas. It's just the same thing. There was someone tonight that even mentioned it where they were like, this is the third time we have been at a cocktail party where it has been derailed by some of this nonsense. So when Andrew S spoke up and he just said, listen, you got to do you. If you want to talk to her, that's fine. But you know what? I really want to stop putting the focus on Thomas or any of these other guys. Katie told us to trust her, and I do. She's going to come to this conclusion herself. She's a smart woman. She's going to see it for herself. I have faith in her that she's going to be able to get there. And in the meantime, we all should be focusing on our relationships with her, because if we're the right person for her, then whatever Thomas is doing just doesn't matter. Build your relationship with her and trust her. And it was exactly what he ended up saying. Tre went and told her. It derailed the night. Thomas ended up getting a whole bunch more time. Then another cocktail party came around where everyone's complaining that they had no time with her. Then the rose ceremony got there and they were all like, man, another cocktail party here and gone. I'm just like, why didn't anybody listen to Andrew?
All right, here's where we hit the curb on this, because I agree that Andrew S probably has the right actual philosophy. From the outside looking in, I think he is probably correct. However, if I was in this position, and I thought a lot about this was complicated in my head, but I think I would have spoken up, because if I am Tre in this situation, I don't know if I'm going to end up with Katie or not at the end of all of this, but we've seen, and I won't name names, but we've seen actually I will name a name, Jed. I'm talking about Jed, no, but I wouldn't want to see the lead end up with somebody who is quote-unquote there for the wrong reason. So I would probably say something. Now, here's where I hit the curb again, is that if you're Tre, say something, say your piece, have it out there, get it off your chest. Maybe he's carrying around a lot of guilt that he doesn't want Thomas to skate by. But then when you go to the cocktail party, at that point, you don't need to chime in again. Like, all these other dudes were like, we gotta talk about Thomas first before we get... It's like, no, Tre already did that. She already knows. She already had the conversation with Thomas. At this point, you guys can let it go now. It's okay now.
Yeah, the amount of people that spent their one-on-one time at that cocktail party talking about Thomas was crazy. I did not understand. So I was, of course, very happy to see Michael just go in and be like,
yes.
Hey, man, I miss you. It's good to talk to you. It's good to reconnect and not talk about Thomas at all. People are spending way too much time on the other guys in the house that it feels like there is really a very small handful of people who have actually made connections with Katie, because everyone's got focus on Cody, we got to get him out. All right, now it's Carl, we got to get him out. Okay, now it's Thomas, we got to get him out. And now Blake has come back in. So I'm sure next week is going to be like, oh, we got to get Blake out. Like, it's been so much of this season, and we've seen a lot of this in the past, but this has felt like every single episode, this is what is happening.
All right, Bachelor Bros, I'm here to give you a little bit of advice. Y'all gotta start thinking more for yourselves. And what I mean by a lot of this is that it is production's fault in part that everyone is so obsessed with Thomas, because I'm sure whether it's Tre or any other guy that goes in there, they're probably like, so, what do you think about Thomas? Do you think you should talk to Katie about... Like, they're probably egging this on to no end, but at a certain point, you gotta be like, hold on just a gosh darn second here. My job is not to make production happy. My job is to try to make Katie happy, which is why, like you said, Michael, my guy, Michael, I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you. I loved every single second of what he did. Perfection.
I am now also rooting for Michael. I like
Welcome.
Michael. But I am also rooting for Andrew. I feel that he really has a good perspective on going into this. And you guys can let me know in the comments if I'm way off base here, but I just felt that him trusting her and trusting the process, which is very difficult on this show to do something like that, and most people don't have what it takes to do that, and focusing his time on Katie and being there for her and being part of a relationship with her. Like, there are not that many men that are doing that this season. I really like Greg, but I even saw Greg piping up and getting pissed off about it, and it was just kind of like, man, I really wish that some of these other guys would just not get drawn into this and just get drawn into Katie, because as much as I know people watch for the drama, and you know, it's fun to watch some drama, there's some of us like me who are really there to watch these kind of more romantic moments, to watch love like actually blossom and start to come together on TV, which is something you don't really get to see, which is why I really liked Listen to Your Heart and that whole spin-off, because that relationship over there was so, with Chris and Bree, was so organic and just this gorgeous love story that was unfolding. And I want to see that here too.
I have so many thoughts about Greg, some of which I'll save until we get into the actual group date conversation, but I'll pick up what you put out on Andrew, because at first, I did have a red flag moment with Andrew when, after he had that whole philosophy with Tre at the group date, they showed him like having a one-on-one with Thomas, and I was just like, Andrew, did you just do all this because Thomas is your friend and you're looking out? But
he called him out.
Yeah, but later he did call him out, and later he spoke up and spoke his mind. So I was like, oh, so actually you're just a reasonable human being.
Yeah, and he called him out in that talk too, because when I first saw them sit down too, I was like, oh no, is this like, have I been bamboozled?
Yeah.
But he called him out in that conversation too and was like, well, man, you did say it, so like, this is where you are in all of this. And I mean, and he did call him out later. I think that Andrew is just a reasonable guy who is there to be with Katie, and it is a tough situation, especially like Thomas is in a weird spot because he clearly came into this with the wrong intentions.
Yeah.
I can't be the person to say whether or not his feelings changed. I truly don't know. I don't know him. Could they have changed? Sure. Could he still be trying to be Bachelor? Sure. Yes, any of that can happen. But it's really just strange to me that the house was just, and I wasn't there, so that the house was just so sure that he was unable to change or his feelings can't change. And then we get to Katie where she's just like, get out. No, you're a liar, you're a this, you're a that. And I was kind of like, where was that shift? Because even when she was talking to him one-on-one, it felt like, not that he was being honest, but he honestly did say, yeah, I came in with that intention. And he called out the other guys too to be like, none of these people are coming here without even thinking that for a second. And Katie's like, no, that's not true. But I'm sorry to tell you, Katie, everybody comes onto this show for multiple things. It is love. It is to get Instagram followers. It is, well, man, if things don't work out, maybe I will be the next person that will get to find love. This is something that I am sure has gone through other people's minds. I know you don't want to hear it, Katie, but come on.
True. It happens. It happens every single time. And Thomas was not wrong with that part of it. I think here is my alarm bell that's going off in my head about Thomas is that this was episode 4. I know 0 things about Thomas. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he likes. It's because every single thing was written out in this metaphorical playbook that he brought to the show. And yeah, like you, Katie's sort of elimination response to him kind of came out of nowhere. So I've got 2 different tinfoil hat theories here for you. Mm-hmm. Number 1, she was thinking this whole time, but she was doing production a solid and giving them this really awesome, incredible moment at the end of it.
Yep.
Theory number 2, maybe she heard something off camera from someone or something happened right before the rose ceremony that sort of validated what a lot of the guys were saying, and that's why she came out there so aggressively. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it tremendously, but it's where was that, Katie, the rest of the episode?
Yeah, it just felt like it kind of... I'm sure this was just production editing, that it kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't expect him to get a rose, but I didn't expect it to go from, all right, I'll hear you out. Okay, this is how I feel. All right, thanks for stopping by, to get out. I was just like, what is happening? Why did it go here all of a sudden? And my tinfoil hat theory is that she wanted to make sure, oh, I didn't put my hand.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
That she wanted to make sure that the men knew that she was there for them, and she wanted them to know and build that trust that she believes them. And that's because she was inviting Blake to come in. I think she knew she couldn't keep Thomas and have Blake. She was going to have to make a decision.
That is a really real... I like this tinfoil hat. Sign me up for this, because I think she probably was thinking in her head, okay, who am I more into? Am I more into Thomas or am I more into Blake? And, Blake is an enigma to me, is that he seems likable. He seems nice enough. I don't know why he decided to answer the door at the end of the episode without putting something on first, but whatever.
I don't know. I know that Bachelor Nation really likes Blake, and I'm sure Blake is fine, and he's okay. He's not, Michael.
No, Michael is the pinnacle of all things Bachelor Nation at this point.
But the thing is Katie asked the question that I've been wondering from the minute that they brought him on again, is that this is the 3rd Bachelorette that he has been there for. He was there for Claire and did all this research beforehand and had conversations with her. Then he stayed for Tayshia. He was like, I'm falling for Tayshia. Tayshia's the one. Now all of a sudden he's like, Tayshia, hook me up now with Katie. I'm just like, how many of these shows do you need to be on that you're going to have 3 Bachelorettes? It is suspect.
Once again, 2 different theories about this. Number 1, He just really likes to be on TV, which may very
that's
well
not
possible.
a tinfoil hat theory. That is a fact.
Okay, number 2, maybe he was thinking in his head, you know what, I'm going to look really silly for doing this because I know I was just on, but
Yes.
I really liked these DMs that I had with Katie, and I think something is there to the point that I'm going to run the risk of being called a fame chaser and all this other nonsense. I'm gonna stick my neck out there, knowing as well that a lot of these other guys are probably gonna hate me.
Yeah, I'll also say this. I really liked that was revealed on the show, that they had been already previously speaking. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that basically what probably happened is they got into the DMs. There was, a lot of back and forth chatting that was going really well. Katie got the call that she's going to be the Bachelorette. And then she was like, sorry, Blake, I'm going to be the Bachelorette. This has been fun, but, this is where I am right now. Because maybe it hadn't really gone that far that it was turning into anything. So he was then stuck in the position that if she goes on the show and she meets somebody, it's over. He doesn't have a chance with her.
I gotta talk a little bit about the group date now, because there's some major questions I have for some of these guys with this.
All right.
Andrew S, as much as we may praise some of your decision making here and there throughout the episode, it's 4 episodes. You got to drop the British accent now. I'm sorry. It seems like you think you have like 2 different personas, and it's like you can't be like, anytime I want to be romantic, I am going to become British Andrew now, and then the rest of the time you're regular Andrew. Pick a lane.
Well, it's probably just a little connection that they have, so he's still gonna play into that. I gotta just say, why did all the dares have to be so far away? I've never really understood when they have these tasks and they're super far away and they have to look through binoculars and use a megaphone and have a speaker by them. You couldn't set up a Twinkie station right in front of them? Come on.
I gotta say, I could have done that Twinkie thing so much better than, like, any of these guys. Like, who was it? Was it Mike that was sort of like, I haven't eaten a carb in 7 years?
Yeah, he's like, I haven't eaten a carb in 7 years. Bring me all the Twinkies. I will eat this whole plate, which is also why I still really like him.
He's very, very interesting, and it's kind of weird that they don't give him more airtime, because other than, like, his Twinkie habits here and apparently his lack of experience in the bedroom, those are like the only things we really know about him at this point.
Yeah, but he also, the one thing that I know about him that I really like is that he has a lack of experience in the bedroom, and he knows that Katie has experience in the bedroom, and he was still like, don't care. Yeah. I'm here. I like her so much, and I really want to be here. We can figure it out. And I thought that was really cool.
Now, Greg, we have to talk about this sweet nothings. The idea was sweet nothings, not bizarre and or horrifying statements using some weird analogy about the United States. Unless you're a geographer, are you going to find that like, ooh, that gets my motor running?
Well, that was why it was weird. It was like, are you listening to this? No, of course not. Of course they're listening, Greg. Of course they're listening.
Yeah. Now, Greg apparently has like some sort of like an acting background, so I don't know if this is like some weird improv exercise that he did, and because he thought they weren't listening, he didn't really bother to think of anything else.
I just wish that they had come up with a couple of things that were a little more unique. We have seen people getting waxed on TV a million times. We have seen people eating hot peppers way more times than I want to admit. They can come up with something else.
I will say, though, I know we can all have opinions about the Tre and Andrew S portion of it, but the Tre, the entire, like, Truth or Dare part of this thing, Tre was like a 10 out of 10. He was, like, given amazing confessionals. He got his butt waxed at one point.
I still love Tre. Don't get me wrong. I am Team Andrew S in this, but I am Team Tre in my heart throughout this whole thing. I still love him dearly. He was a 10 out of 10.
I'm also pretty sure he straight up proposed to Katie at the very end of that, and nobody else like went the full, like, will you marry me? And she said yes. So does that mean that Tre is the winner of this season?
Yeah, that was a really good proposal. We saw that Greg said, I love you, so that was something else as well. And then they all went into the, like, group date portion of it where it was supposed to be truth. But there was, like, I was like, what was happening? There wasn't really anything like that. It was just a normal After the group date, one-on-ones, and that's it.
Listen, whoever the intern or production assistant that had like the truth cards ready, maybe they lost them or something going to the location.
Or it all just turned into the Thomas show again.
The truth about Thomas.
Why didn't you guys just listen to Andrew S already? We could have had a whole episode where we were talking about like romance, and instead Thomas dead. But he is gone, and we don't have to worry about this anymore. So next week it'll be drama about Blake and how Aaron can get him out of the house.
Aaron is Aaron going to be here the whole season?
I hope not. Listen, I know that there's people out there that really like Aaron, but Aaron has really been spearheading all these people going. Cody going, Carl going, Thomas going. Like, this seems to be his only real play in the house. I don't want to watch this from him every week. He needs to either focus on his relationship with Katie or go home.
Something. Just I don't even know. But let's see what you guys think about all of this. You know, what did you think about this episode? About Thomas? About the amount of time that Thomas got through all this? You know,
Andrew S, Tre,
Michael. Dude, that's the answer we can all agree with. But
yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you excuse us. We got some hot peppers we need to go eat, so I guess I'm eating all the hot peppers.
No, yes.
All right, well, if that's the case, I will go eat some hot peppers, and we will see you guys here next time.